got my team and it's all I need.
What's up, everyone? This is another episode of GameTime Excellence. Here today we have Keenan The First, music, entrepreneur, great friend, and he loves cats, ladies and gentlemen. Me and Keenan, we go way back. We were at Wyoming together, and I left Wyoming to go to the better Cowboys. They had better colors at Oklahoma State. But me and Keenan, we talk on a regular basis, and he does some great things. He's a creative mind. He's a creative artist, creative business person. Like he does it all. So, Keenan, for the people who don't know who you are, that should know who you are, please let them know.
Well, first off, let me say that I used to be afraid of Shamil. This dude was the biggest dude on the field, and he was on the opposite side of the ball. So it's cool to be on the same team as you now. You know what I'm saying?
All love.
Who I am. I'm a creative, man. I rap, I sing, I produce, and I write songs. And I would say that songwriting is where I find happiness. I started making music when I was 12 years old. My father's a producer and now a film composer. My brother's a rapper. Everybody in my family sort of has some type of creative outlet. And so that was my first sort of creative time, was when I was 12 years old. And then I got into football, and that was my main thing. And I always thought I was going to go to the NFL, make the money, and then go start my music life.
Right.
And so, the gears switched a little bit after college, and I just started doing music heavy in 2014.
No, that's awesome. And that's so cool to hear. Just, we both play football. I went on to play 4 years in the league. Mm-hmm. And during my 4 years, I was able to figure out and dibble and dabble and piddle and paddle, whatever you want to say, into figuring out what I wanted to do after my career was done. And so it's pretty cool to hear. Not a lot of athletes know what they want to do as soon as they're done. And so for you, at a young age, you knew you wanted to get into music. So, what's your mission? What's your mission now with the music? Where do you want to go with that?
My mission is really based in messaging. I don't cuss in my music. I don't use any words that take away from what I think is the message. I try to make it the most pure channel to communicate. And I really believe in the full multimedia experience. Like the first two rappers that I listened to were Eminem and 50 Cent. And both of them had movies out. Right. Like Eminem had 8 Mile. I actually got into Eminem through the whole 8 Mile experience.
Oh shit, 50
really? Cent, 50 Cent had Get Rich or Die Trying, and I really got into the story of 50 Cent because of how big that experience was. And so for me, it's I want to allow people to experience their worlds through music, through theater, through movies, through whatever, and be able to feel like they can tell their own story and be able to feel like they can tap into the story of someone else through these channels.
Right.
Well, I feel like that's really what my mission is.
Right. No, that's awesome. I mean, this is How It Goes. Is that the name of it, right?
How It Goes, yeah.
Yeah, How It Goes. Listen, the music video for that, y'all need to check it out because it's crazy visuals, and then the lyrics is good, the beat is good. So what he's saying is 100% correct. So I was watching it, I was like, man, what? This is different than any type of music video I have watched because it challenges you to think about what's going on.
Hey.
That's really cool.
That video, so I was really, my little brother can attest to this too, that I was so particular about what my first video was going to be, that that video came out in 2018, and I've been rapping since I was 12. That was the first music video I ever did.
Oh wow.
Because I was so particular. I didn't want to just be the rapper looking directly at the camera, dancing and doing the same it needed to be a different story. So that director was the first person I met that really understood where I was coming from.
Yeah, and that's very you can tell you think and analyze on what you want to do. And for me, I really truly believe that with game time excellence, the 4 M's: mission, mindset, mastery, and maintenance. And you know, where did you get that type of mindset to analyze and be very particular on what you're putting out there? And that's my first question. I have some more, but how'd you get that mindset for that right there?
I think for me, that's my athlete mentality. That's everything strategy I learned from football. And I was a walk-on at the University of Wyoming. So that meant that every time I stepped on a field, I had to have a strategy about how I was being perceived and how hard I was working. And, you know, and for me, it also wasn't just what I did on the field mattered. I had to also perform in the classroom and perform in the weight room and perform, you know, socially in order to be eligible to be selected for a scholarship. You know what I mean? Right. And so when
all the facets of it.
Yeah, that's all around it. You know what I mean? Because if I could be killing on the field, I could be killing in the weight room, but if I had C's, then what's the difference between me and a new freshman coming out? Right. And I got to prove that I'm worth that scholarship. Right. And so in the music industry, it's the same. It's kind of like this parallel world where like everybody's a walk-on. You got to just walk up to the plate and you got to prove that, you know, your videos are tight, that your lyricism is tight, that your showmanship is tight, and you're always sort of trying to prove to the public or to the industry that you are worth being invested in. Right, and so that's, I think, where I come from when it comes to like putting the strategy into my mentality.
Right. No, that's awesome. And you know what's so cool about that? Like where we're going right now with the coronavirus and people being laid off and like this different type of, like your business is being affected. Like especially me, like, you know, my speaking engagements got canceled. Which, like I've had, hopefully there will be, to all my people who book me, please bring it back later day. But what's so cool about that is if you're not well-rounded during this period of time, you will be hit pretty hard. And so I think, you know, what's going on in today's time, like it is important to be well-rounded. How's your online business going? You know, how's your marketing? Do you have a way for your employees to work from home? You know what I mean? Like there's so many different facets to your business. Are you well-rounded? And that's cool that you said that, because not only for the musician, not only for the athlete, but it's for you at home. It's for you as a business owner, you know, all that type of stuff.
Right.
So with setbacks happening like the coronavirus and stuff like that, how do you deal with failure and obstacles and adversity?
I think all failures, obstacles, adversity are the greatest metrics of growth. And so that's kind of built into how I operate. I like to operate by trial and error, meaning I like the trial and I like the error because it allows me to optimize and to look back and be like, okay, this is what I need to do different.
Right.
I could, for example, in LA, I was you know, submitting myself for shows. So basically people would have a show, you got to sell 30 tickets in order to, you got to sell 30 tickets first. Right. Then once you sell those 30 tickets for $10 to $15, then you start making a percentage of ticket sales from then on. Now, in LA, it's really hard to get people to come to shows. You know what I'm saying? Your first 30 people is pretty much, that's a hard fight. That's a hard fight to get 30 people to a show.
Right.
And so I started realizing that these venues are really just like putting that cap at 30 because they know that's pretty much what you can draw and you're not really going to get any money off of those shows.
Right.
So I started throwing my own shows. Now, I didn't know anything about that whole process.
Right.
So the first show I threw, we had to try to figure out a venue. And I'm talking to promoters and trying to figure out, you know, what are the actual sale points here? Because I didn't know if, you know, I'm just making money off ticket sales. Am I now that I'm throwing my own show, can I make money off the bar?
Right.
Can I sell my own merchandise here? Like whatever. And started learning that whole process of like, how does the venue make money and how do I make money from the venue? And then I had to try to learn, you know, that's a lot more upfront cost.
Right.
I also got to hire acts to be on this bill because I can't just tell 1,000 people to come watch me perform.
Right.
But if I ask 3 people to bring 300, or if I ask 10 people to bring 100,
Right.
then I could probably pack a venue, but I have to
Right.
pay those people in order to be there.
Right.
So I just started learning, like,
Uh,
how do you book talent? How do you account for, the talent draw? How do
mhm.
you price the tickets? How do you figure out how those people are going to generate profit for
Right.
me?
Right.
And then how do I return that profit back to everybody else? And
That's
so that is what I learned through trial and error.
right.
But that's a skill that I now have that I can use, you know what I
Right.
mean, to make money. Now, when the coronavirus hit, ain't nobody going to no shows. So you
Right.
how to how to translate, those skills to an online platform
Right.
or something else, you know what I mean? But um, yeah, I think failure is just built into, like, I enjoy the obstacle because I know that on the other end of it, there's going to be a growth period.
Right, right. No, that's super dope because a lot of people are, for me, it's like this is like a baby one.
Yeah.
I was afraid to jump into the 10 feet deep water in the pool. You know what I mean? Like, but and you allow that to shrink and hold you back, but you look at it as an opportunity to gain some experience. You look at it as an opportunity to grow.
Right.
Um, you should check out Little Bets. I've read that book before, or I listened to the audio. Let me not lie, people. But I listened to the audio, and it
Little
was talking
back.
about how Pixar, they do like so many storyboards before they actually get to the final product. And so it's all about failure, and
Yeah.
it's cool that you had that mindset.
Yeah.
And I think which is so cool about failing, it allows you to master the skills you need to attain to get to your mission.
Right.
So what other ways do you try to master like the fundamentals to get to your mission and be better in life?
I do what I do every day. I think that's a motto that I live by, and I've been preaching more, is do what you love every day, because number one, when you decide to do something every single day, or when you decide to commit to something, you start learning how deep that one thing can be.
Mm,
Like, when people hear that I do music every day, they think that I'm just sitting at the computer hitting keyboards. But it's like, no, 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 no. I create a song, and then I figure out how to get that song to people, and then I figure out how to receive the feedback from people, and then I use that feedback to create a new song, or that feedback and inspiration to create a new thing. And so searching for the new, that is the obstacle for me. But
mhm.
that's an obstacle that I cherish because it forces me to immerse myself. Like, I
Right,
have to
right.
be listening to people, but I also have to be listening to music, but I also have to be listening to myself and my own inspiration. And so that's forcing me to just exist, you know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
In the best existence that I know how to create for myself.
Right.
And so, yeah, doing it every single day is something that seems like it might be a mundane thing, but at the end of the day, it's like it it gets me to do more.
Right, right. No, I definitely agree with that. I mean, just from the standpoint of like, shoot, if you want muscles, man, if you only
You
work
never
on
know
it
every
one
day.
time and you work on 5 times, you'll get better results if how consistent you are. I mean, so that
Right.
makes sense. So staying committed and being consistent is
Yeah.
one of the ways you master your art.
Right.
Okay,
I
okay,
would say
okay.
that's like the number one thing, I think, is every single day, even if it's only 10 minutes, because
Right,
once you get that hamstring right, then you gotta get that quad right. You know what
right,
I
right.
mean? But it's not until you get the hamstring right that you understand the real need for the quad.
Right, right. No, definitely. So I love this. I love this. Because doing something every day, it can be exhausting. It can be
Mhm.
tiresome. Even though you love it, it still can
Right.
wear you down mentally, physically, and like spiritually. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
man, I seen Tom Brady. I tell this story all the time. Man, I tried to watch Tom Brady and see what he did, what made him great. Same thing with Julian Edelman. And what I noticed was they stayed in the training room,
Mhm.
getting stretched, getting chiropractic work, cold tub, hot tub, stayed after stretching, all that type of stuff. Build the muscle so they can withstand the long season.
Mhm.
Um, and life is a marathon. Life isn't a sprint. So what do you do to keep yourself like the maintenance of your life? What do you do to keep yourself like physically healthy, spiritually healthy, emotionally healthy?
Yeah. I mean, I think this is a work in progress, for sure. This is something that, like, I'm actively questioning for myself is, my physical health and fitness has greatly declined since football.
Right, right.
And that's
You're
just
not running
because
100-yard dashes and
yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that.
No, bro, no. And that's a lot of it is because the music industry is so much geared towards being a night owl and being an overnight process. And
Right, right.
so, my sleep schedule gets affected by that. You're drinking a lot of caffeine to stay up. You're not necessarily, we're doing drive-through stuff just because we don't want to, or we're just delivering food because you don't
Right,
want to leave that inspirational moment.
right.
And so I guess really paying attention to what I'm eating when I'm not in the studio to try to have some type of balance.
Right, right.
That's the first thing. Drinking water.
Yeah.
That's something that I don't know why I have a problem with that. It's
But
like
it doesn't taste good though.
it
Like in
does,
all
it
honesty, unless
doesn't.
you're dead tired, water does not taste good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, and it only tastes good when you're after you run 100-yard
Right.
dash. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I have a healthy relationship with my fiance. Shout out to me and her. You know what I'm saying? We
Oh
just got
yeah. Oh
engaged.
yeah. They just he just proposed to his future wife, his fiance. Hopefully I get invited. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm cool
Yeah,
enough.
pending.
Throwing it out there right now, putting the pressure on them.
But no, it's good. I mean, she's in a whole different field than me. She's an OB/GYN. She's in Chicago. Her experiences throughout the day are very different than mine. And so we usually try to have this moment of decompressing everything together,
right?
Which allows me into her world. It allows her into my world, and it gives me that escape that I might need if I feel suffocated in my own stuff. You know what I mean? So like, I think whether you have a significant other or not, I think that just having counsel with people and just being around other people's experiences is really healthy to get out of your own head in your own space.
Right, right.
And mine just happens to be my fiance. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Shout out. Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out. You know what I mean? And I don't know, like maintenance. I think. Oh, you know what? I also save time for myself or I guess make time for myself to just be clear-headed. I don't have music. I don't have a TV.
Right.
Sometimes when I was working this job, I used to be 30 minutes every day. I had a lunch, which is not a lunch, bro.
Right.
But I had a lunch where I would just use it to walk outside. No distraction, no screen, no anything. And honestly, some of my best work and best responses to any situation came from just moments of, I wouldn't call it meditation because I don't think it's true meditation, but it's that moment of like, I have no distractions. I'm just inside my own self,
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense though, because think about it. Like a lot of times we make decisions from either an emotional high or an emotional low.
Right.
And we don't ever like consistently make a decision from even kill emotional place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's because I try to walk every day and like pray and just think about what I'm grateful for to clear my mind so I'm stable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I feel like that's what that is for you. I could be wrong, but so you can make clear-headed decisions and even create better, man. If your mind is clouded, man, it's hard to make solid decisions and create and be as productive as possible.
Yeah, very true. I think that's what I learned from business leaders more than anything. It's like, it seems like, when you get into business, you can't really make emotional decisions because you have so much at stake and so many other people at stake that you got to be the most even keel. And so like the dudes that I look up to seem like they're always in that pocket of just, nah, I'm making this decision because it's the best decision to be made, not because I need to gain this from that, or I don't like the way this person, blah, 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 you know?
Right. No, I love that. So since you said that, who are some of the people you follow to get your inspiration from and your, guidance, your blueprint?
I really look up to Master P.
Okay.
When I learned that he turned down $1 million deal because he felt like that he understood his worth in that moment.
Yeah.
That really inspired me. I look up to Mark Cuban, even though I don't necessarily like him as a person. I just think that like he's a very successful dude that
Right.
knows who he is, and a lot of the advice he gives is really smart.
Right.
I also look up to Russ,
Uh-huh.
the rapper who mixes, masters, produces, and writes his own stuff. It's like the first person to get an award for doing that.
Right. Right. That's what's up.
Which I think is the future of music, honestly.
Right.
And then there's a digital marketing guy named Neil Patel that I follow on LinkedIn, who I really like and admire. I think he's a really smart guy who understands the internet and how to use it to further your business.
Right. 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 That's really cool. That's really cool because I always think it's interesting. Like, so I speak at, K through 12. I speak at colleges. I speak at corporations, and in the K through 12 sector, it's always interesting to talk to students and be like, hey, who do you follow? Who do you look up to? And they don't follow anyone. They follow they follow people, these musicians that and they don't know why they're following them.
Yeah.
So it's always important to, I always love hearing other people who they follow, so I can go look them up and maybe I can gain some wisdom myself,
Yeah.
And so I got two more questions for you.
Okay.
Where do you see yourself going within this next year, like as far as like music, entrepreneur, like everything? Like what's your mission now, like moving forward?
Well, I think that I've been learning a lot that people are paying for content instead of art now. And so for me, the next 5 years is kind of using my skills as an artist to create content that will get seen and be like a collaborative effort. So I really want to focus on publishing, doing stuff for TV, films, and also doing partnerships with brands to help tell their stories through music. And, that's where I see, number one, making a living for myself, but also two, getting in front of bigger audiences. Like, it's one of my dreams to be like a rapper who is sponsored by a coffee company.
Right.
Like, I think everybody's always angling for like smoking products or alcoholic beverages. I'm like, yo, I drink so much caffeine that if I just had like Starbucks stamped on me, that'd be tight. You know what I mean?
Good.
But you know what I mean? Just like in business with them like that,
it
would be really tight. So
get it tattooed on your forehead.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Just like a Starbucks face tat.
Right.
For $8 million, I would consider it.
Right. Oh, that's hilarious. Who got it? This is way off topic, but who got a tattoo recently on their forehead? I think it was like Amber Rose or something like that. She got a tattoo on her forehead.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hey, it's in now. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. Don't do that. Don't do that. Oh no, I forgot what I was gonna say, but so that's where you see yourself going, and something tangible. One to two action items that you can give someone to perform at a higher level and get to their goal, whether it be in music. If it's music, get to music. If it's like just in life, what is two action items you can give someone right now?
Ooh, okay. Number one, I would say figure out what your number one channel for engagement is right now. So, and a lot of times it's not something that we necessarily think is our number one. It's like, go through the analytics on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, or whatever, and figure out who's actually engaging with you, because those are your fans. You might think it's your homies, you might think it's your, roommates, but the people that are actually engaging with you are your actual fans, and drop your content there consistently. Number two, I would say find a person who is doing what you've done and study them. And like right now, I'm studying, I usually try to study a current person and a person from the past, because I heard this like wise saying that a person grows the most when they have a mentor and a mentee. And so I'm like using that to assist me in where I study. And so I have a person that I'm looking to right now who's considered one of my peers, and then I also have a person that did what I did before in a different era. And so study them by watching all their interviews, read their autobiography, like, you know what I mean, go listen to their music and really figure out their story, because a lot of times you find that they were in a situation that you are in, and you thought no one has ever been in that situation before. So
that's really cool, because, you know, Tony Robbins talks about like success leaves clues, you know. At the end of the day, the blueprint is already out there. So it's, why try to reinvent the wheel when it's already out there? You know, copy someone and then make it your own as you continue to go.
Right.
I definitely agree with that, man. Keenan the First, where can everyone find you?
Yeah, you can find me at KeenanTheFirst.com.
Boom. See, that's simple. You know, I knew that. I just wanted to So everyone check out his music on YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, right? And go connect with him on Instagram. I don't know if he's on Facebook. Are you on Facebook?
I have a Facebook. I use it for marketing, but not really to post anything.
Okay, well, don't go on Facebook then, I guess. But go on Instagram and just go chop it up with him. Good people. Has a lot of creative ideas, great music, and just besides him being a cat lover, man, he's a good friend too. You know? I
love one cat. That's it.
He's a cat lover, man. That's what he is. But no, I really appreciate you. Everyone, you know, man, the action items, man, figure out your platform. Figure out where you're getting the most engagement, and then go study people who have already done what you want to do. And that's part of being game time excellent. Your mission, your mindset, maintenance, mastery, and get it done. Y'all have a great day.